Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm the FlightlessBird and this is our blind let's play of 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. What's the 9 person 9? I always get those confused. It doesn't matter. It's a great game and I'm having a lot of fun with it. As you can see at the top of the screen, we have completed 3 of the 6 endings so far. And what I did was I went into the flowchart here and I fast forwarded to this spot here. And what that does is it allows us to see the locks on the white keys. And these are not locked anymore, which means when we play through this initially, we made the right choices. However, when I go to this novel, something interesting happens. And that is, this room still has 2 locks on it. So we missed something in this room, and I'm not really sure what it is. We can go to the chemical closet before the door. I'm just going to start at the operating room. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to record, but I'm going to cut out all the stuff that we've already done. And when we get to something new... When we get to something new, I'm going to throw that into the video, and that way you can follow along with us. I won't really know if it's something new or not necessarily. It's just something I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for. So I'm gonna rush through this room as quick as I can, and hopefully we'll be able to see, you know, what these 2 locks are. And then once we unlock these, we should be able to go to this room here. Actually, hold on. Let's check something real fast. Lock. Okay, so I don't know if these are locked because we haven't unlocked these yet or what's going on, but apparently we missed quite a lot there. As far as the red keys go, I think the red keys were really good except for these rooms. So yeah, we're gonna go here and I'll see you guys in a few.
You think we should go back?
Alright, so they just started talking here, and I'm thinking that the story sequences probably revolve around them talking, and it probably revolves around the decision we made. So I'm just gonna follow that train of logic to see if it bears any fruit.
Yeah, I think that's probably best.
Clover nodded and left. Junpei was about to follow her when he realized that Seven wasn't following suit.
Hey, Seven, what's up?
Oh, well...
He looked up at Junpei distractedly, then back down at the brown bottle he had cupped in his large hands.
Is that a medicine bottle?
I got curious about it. Here.
In response, Seven tossed the bottle gently to Junpei. He caught it and twisted around to read the label.
Ethylene diamine tartrate?
Yeah, that's right. CDT.
What kind of medicine is that?
It's not medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent.
Why would they have something like that here?
Well, probably to clean stuff up.
Clean what up?
Fuck if I know. Still, it looks like it's cleaned my brain up.
Junpei looked up from the bottle.
You remember something?
Yeah.
Seven nodded slowly and spoke.
Well, I remember a story about EDT. Happened about 50 years ago. There was this factory somewhere in America making big old EDT crystals. They were making it to sell as an industrial strength cleaner, like I told you before. But a year after the factory started up, something strange started happening with the crystals they were building. Water molecules started attaching themselves to the EDT crystals. This made them into a sort of mutation of the original crystals, called a hydrate. Once the crystals turn into a hydrate, though, it's useless as a cleaner. The factory had to just dump the crystals. As a hydrate, they were useless.
I think I remember the story.
But it didn't end there. After that day, the same thing started happening in EDT factories everywhere, even ones nowhere near that first American factory. They'd been making crystals the same way, with the same materials and the same equipment and environment. But now, all of a sudden, every single crystal they formed turned into a hydrate. In fact, ever since that day, no factory anywhere has been able to make a pure EDT crystal. Even in EDT research done years before, they'd never gotten a hydrate. After it happened at the first factory, it just spread. It was like...
They were talking to each other.
Like the molecules were communicating with one another, transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive. This phenomena spread throughout the world, right?
Junpei looked up at Seven with half a smirk. Seven stared at him, dumbfounded.
Yeah, that's it exactly. But how did you know?
I don't remember actually ever seeing that. I need to go back into the video logs and... Nah, I'm not going to, but if someone remembers us saying that originally, let me know.
I heard another story, kind of like that one.
When?
In the freezer?
What?
Yeah, June told me.
Junpei told Seven the story he heard from June in the freezer in the kitchen. How one day glycerin began to crystallize. And the story of ice that wouldn't melt at room temperature. When Junpei was done, Seven looked thoughtful and absentmindedly rubbed the scar on his chin.
Ice that doesn't melt at room temperature, huh?
That sounds familiar?
Yeah, hold up. I feel like I can remember something. It's right there.
Seven squinted. His eyes stared off into space as if he were trying desperately to focus on something far away.
Do you?
Ooh. This might be one of the locks, but which one do I pick? Know something about it or know about Ice 9? Let's test about this one because it seems to be more specific.
Do you know about Ice 9?
Ice 9? Ice 9. Ice 9. Ice, ice, ice.
Ice, baby. Suddenly, Seven eyes shot open.
That's it. I remember now. That woman, she's on this boat.
Wait, what?
That woman?
Huh?
Alice!
Huh?
Who's Alice?
Come on, the woman who won't melt at room temperature.
Huh?
It became clear to Seven that Junpei had no idea what he was talking about. Yeah, what are you talking about? He ran his hand across his face and took a deep breath.
You know how the Titanic sank on April 15th, 1912, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, more than 1,500 people died. Worst maritime accident in history. What about it?
Did you hear about the boat that was sent to collect the dead bodies?
No?
I think that was the RMS Carpathia, right? It was a cruise liner, just like the Titanic.
No, that was the ship that picked up the survivors. The ship that collected the dead bodies was the CS McKay Bennett. The McKay Bennett showed up on April 17th, 2 days after the accident. It set out from Halifax, a port in Canada, and recovered 306 bodies. The Atlantic that far north was really cold. It would have to be for there to be icebergs and stuff. Anyway, the bodies they pulled out of the water were frozen solid.
This isn't a very nice story. So, what happened next?
Well, they say the McKay Bennett recovered something more than just dead bodies. There were various bits of stuff floating around in the water. Things the drowned had carried with them, or stuff that dislodged as the ship sank.
What kind of stuff?
One of the things they found was a coffin.
A coffin?
I remember seeing a coffin.
Yeah, a wooden one. The craftsman who made it must have been pretty skilled. It wasn't just a wooden coffin. It was all wood, no nails, no reinforcements, no gaps in the wood anywhere. The thing was airtight. The crew got pretty curious about what might be inside it and opened it up. They had to get a wedge and hammer it open. It was so well made. Inside, they found a woman. Or, I guess you should say, they found the dead body of a woman.
Is this the mummy that we keep hearing about?
Her hair was thick and black, and her skin rich brown with no blemishes or signs of decomposition. They say that she looked gorgeous, like a goddess. She was obviously dead, but everyone who looked at her said she just looked like she was sleeping. Her skin was so lifelike, she looked like she might wake up any minute. And she didn't, though. Like the rest of the bodies they found, she was frozen solid. Eventually, the McKay Bennett finished searching and returned to Halifax. The 306 bodies were unloaded and taken ashore. However, it was warm enough that they began to thaw. They say that the stink was horrible, but there was one body that didn't thaw, and that was...
This woman?
The girl in the coffin.
That's right. Everybody thought for sure that she'd melt and start to rot like the rest of them eventually, but weeks passed and nothing happened. Then a month passed, and another. And it was summer, and she was still frozen solid. After a while, people started to say she was some sort of miracle. Rumors about her started to spread. People came to visit Halifax from all over. After a while, people started to call her All Ice, Alice. Of course, those rumors didn't last long.
Why?
Well, she up and disappeared. One day Alice was there, the next day she wasn't.
Did someone steal her?
They say someone snuck into where they were keeping her and stole the body. With the body gone, the rumors followed pretty quickly.
What, that she broke free of the ice and is walking around?
After a while, no one remembered her. You might be able to find something about her if you could find a newspaper from back then, but that's about it.
Wait, you just said that she was on this boat.
Yeah, I did. Alice has got to be somewhere on this ship.
How do you know that?
Now, why the hell would you say something like that?
Because I know.
How?
And just what is it you know?
What happened to Alice after she was stolen?
Junpei gulped.
All right, tell me. What happened to Alice?
Seven nodded slowly and took on the look of a man recalling something long buried.
Well, around that time, the word was that there was a special black market in New York. All millionaires from all over the world. I've heard that Alice went up for auction there. The person who won the auction was Lord Dashiell Gordain.
Gordain. Could have swore I've heard that name before.
You've heard that name before, right?
Lord Gordain. Oh, isn't he the guy who bought the Gigantic? The Titanic's sister ship?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's him. Although I guess he hadn't done that yet.
What do you mean?
Gordain bought Alice in 1912. And 4 years later, in 1916, he bought the Gigantic. And he hid Alice somewhere on the Gigantic. But nobody knows where. He died in 1931. And apparently, he died without ever telling anyone where Alice was hidden. However,
what?
Well, he did have one close friend who asked him, "Where is Alice?" And he said, "Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge beneath the navel of the Gigantic."
Okay, that's cryptic as can be.
What the hell is that? Is it some kind of riddle?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Seven threw his hands up in defeat.
So that's it. Whatever you think, I believe it. She's hidden somewhere on the Gigantic. In other words, she's hidden somewhere on this ship.
Before Junpei could dispute Seven's rather bizarre claim, as Junpei was trying to figure out what on earth he was going to say next, Clover's shrill voice pierced the room.
Hey, what are you two doing over there? Stop wasting time and get over here.
Okay, we're coming.
Jeez.
Seven looked at Junpei.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. It might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
With that cryptic remark, he turned and left the room.
Alice. Huh.
Junpei was left behind to ponder what he just heard. He tried to remember what June had told him earlier.
That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. They say that she was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
Then was that Egyptian priestess, Alice? Did the water in her body become Ice 9?
All the dots. Even more dots.
No, that's nuts. There's no way somebody like that could exist.
Junpei shook his head, trying desperately to clear it. Followed Seven to the operating room where Clover was waiting. Alright, so if you're wondering what opened up that dialogue, it's we put in the code here for carbon dioxide, ammonium, and ethanol. And then after getting the item, that's what triggered the scene. If we look at this, you'll notice that one lock became unlocked. But the other one is still locked. So we're still gonna have to press on to try to see what else we need to do. So I will see you guys as soon as we get to that.
Hey, hold on.
Junpei stopped, about to put the key into the doorknob.
Oh, what's up?
Where's Clover?
Huh?
Junpei turned around and Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, God damn it. Where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute. I'll go get her.
Sure thing.
Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. So if you're wondering, we just solved the puzzle with the matching and we got the key. We found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin.
Hey, Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here.
All the dots. She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead.
What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John?
It wasn't the best joke, but it was something. An attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood, stock still, and said nothing.
Hey, Clover, can you hear me?
Perhaps it was something he said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly, her mouth opened, and she whispered in a dry and dead voice.
My brother might be dead.
All the dots. Even more dots.
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead, I'm going to be next.
Suddenly, the operating room felt very, very cold.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. All the dots. The silence grew heavier. Junpei, what do you want to do? Oh, this is new. Okay, so if I think about this logically, again, if we go with a more specific choice, this is a more specific choice. Plus, there's a chance we may not have had this item if we didn't go through that other room. So I'm inclined to think that this is probably the better choice. Give her the 4-leaf clover.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know why, but suddenly Junpei remembered something he'd been given earlier.
It's in my pocket somewhere.
Here it is. He reached into his pocket and dug it out.
A 4-leaf clover.
Santa had given it to him in the second class room. He held it out to Clover.
Hey, did you know? Each leaf means something. Hope, faith, love, and luck. That's what a 4-leaf clover stands for. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm.
He pressed the 4-leaf clover into her hand.
Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck.
All the dots.
Snake, I mean, your brother, he's not dead. He's alive, somewhere. I'm sure of it. You've just gotta believe in that.
All the dots. Clover stared at the 4-leaf clover in her hand. He could see tears start to form at the corners of her eyes.
Thank you.
Her voice was tiny and broken, and as she spoke, she started to cry. She tried to hide her tears by looking at the floor, but it did little good. She wiped away tears with the baggy arms of her jacket, but more quickly took the place. No matter how she tried, she couldn't stop crying. Her tears made small wet circles on the floor.
Thank you.
She said it again. Then she looked up at Junpei and seemed to choke down the last of her grief. She did her best to smile. Junpei wiped an errant tear from her cheek with his thumb and gave her the best smile he could manage.
Now come on. Seven's waiting for us at the exit.
But still, she didn't move.
Wait, before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you.
What's that?
What do you think when you hear the word experiment?
Something that you do to try to find the truth of something you're testing? For a moment, his mind froze. Then he came back to his senses and realized the word meant nothing to him, aside from the dictionary definition.
What?
Oh, I guess it was just a coincidence then.
What is?
I mean, that you knew about the 4-leaf clover.
What do you mean?
Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a jerk, but you are making less than no sense right now.
Yeah, can you fill us in, Clover?
Oh, no. It's nothing. Just forget about it.
Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about?
Clover looked away. The 4-leaf clover was still in her hand. She stared at it for a long moment and then, finally, spoke.
You promise you won't tell anyone?
Sure.
Cross my heart.
Really?
Sure.
Really?
I can trust you, right?
As long as you don't put a giant axe on my back, I'm okay with it.
Of course you can.
Clover slipped the 4-leaf clover into her pocket. Her eyes still red from crying, she looked up at Junpei.
Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on this ship 9 years ago.
How do you know?
Wait. On this ship?
Yeah, this ship.
He was entirely lost. He had 1,000 questions, but it was probably best, he thought, to save them just until Clover had finished.
It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing, communicating through these fields that you can't see.
The transmorphic fields?
Fields that you can't see?
He'd heard something like this before. Clover nodded.
Like, think about this.
She pointed at the operating table. On top of it was a somewhat mismatched medical mannequin whose parts had been swapped with another mannequin.
This is John, right?
Sort of.
But is he really John?
Huh?
All Junpei could think was, she has finally completely lost it.
Isn't this like Locke's socks?
Locke's socks?
Or the ship of Theseus?
I know that reference. The ship of Theseus. I know that because, like I said, I'm big into history. The ship of Theseus is basically an idea where if you take a ship and you are to repair it, and you are to put new wood onto the wood, eventually over time, if you replace every single part of wood from the ship, would it still be the same ship, or would it be a new ship because it's got brand new wood in all of its parts? Junpei grew even more confused. He never heard of either of those things, although they sounded smart.
You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes?
I've heard of one, but not the other.
No?
Junpei shook his head.
Really?
Clover laughed.
Okay, well pay attention then. This is how Locke's socks works.
Yeah, I want to know this one.
Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks.
Okay,
One of them gets a hole in it.
I'm following.
What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei?
Probably keep wearing it, because that's what I do. Keep wearing it until you go out and buy more socks, and then you throw away the old socks. Patch it up, throw it away. Because I know the ship of Theseus paradox, I'm assuming that you patch it up, and eventually the idea is the sock is no longer the sock. Let's go with that.
Well, I guess I'd patch it up. Get some cloth and close up the hole.
But what if another hole opens?
I'd add another patch, I suppose.
What if another hole opened after that?
Another patch, I guess?
Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches. Until eventually, the original cloth of the sock is totally gone.
Okay, so locked socks and the ship of Theseus are basically the same paradox.
Once you get to that point, can you really say they're the same socks you started with?
Well, that's tough.
Junpei crossed his arm.
So, that's the locked socks thing?
Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a lot like it. The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of a ship, eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with. Can you really say that ship is the same one you started with? And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship
And built another
one somewhere else?
Yeah, I've heard that part of it too.
Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired, or the one you built with all the original parts?
It was an interesting question. Clover could see Junpei was intrigued.
Hey, do you think it's the same?
I just want to know where you're going with this.
What's the same?
These guys. Is this John? Or is it Lucy now?
Still got John's head though, right? And without John's brain. Junpei looked at the operating table again. All the dots. A mannequin full of body parts from a different body. Clover had been right. It was just like locked socks. And the ship of Theseus. The part of the body that holds a person's identity is a head. Of course, for many hundreds of years, conventional wisdom was held that a man's identity resided in his heart, or any of a number of internal organs. And here, they had both.
John's head and heart are both his, but apart from those, and a single arm, the rest of his body was once Lucy's.
Was that mannequin really John?
We're just like these mannequins.
I don't follow. She looked at Junpei again.
Think about it. The cells in our body change every day. Old ones die and new ones are born. Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once. Or maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate.
I don't know about that.
If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right? That's how we're all connected. Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye.
The silence was broken by Seven.
Hey, what the hell is taking you two so long?
It's his turn to scold us. Seven's head appeared in the doorway. He was not happy.
How long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around.
All the dots. All the dots. Junpei and Clover looked at each other. Clover looked at Junpei as if to say there was more she wanted to tell him. She shook her head. Whatever she had to tell him, she didn't want to tell him in front of Seven. Seven seemed to catch on.
Oh? What were you two doing? Was this some sort of secret meeting?
No, it wasn't. We were just
Just...
playing with the mannequins.
That's almost as bad of a line as Seven saying that I may want to go back to play the piano.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei.
Moving a little bit too fast to be entirely innocent, Clover headed toward the exit. Seven stared after her, and turned to Junpei with an amused expression.
Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
Oh, shush. All the dots. All the dots.
You're a dick.
Junpei dashed past him and traced Clover's path out the door. With a short laugh, Seven followed. They stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key.
All right, I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool?
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, all right?
Fine then.
He slid the key into the lock bolt and turned it. He felt it unlock. Alright, so this completes this puzzle. Maybe. Hopefully once and for all. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. No fanfare confetti. No one to applaud them. And they walked through the door.
All right, let's get going.
And that was it.
Hey, man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy, you know, get a little excited?
All the dots. Even more dots.
Not really.
Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway. All the dots.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
Clover had told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead, and she was likely to follow him.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
Okay. Puzzle room complete yet again. Hopefully. We have to check the flowchart to see if we unlock both of the keys. Sure enough, yes, both of the keys are now officially unlocked. So now the question is, what do we do to unlock these keys? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down to this room again. And I'm going to pull up the flowchart. And unfortunately, it looks like we completely failed. Yeah, we completely failed. There's 3 dialogues here in these 2 escape rooms. So we need to go to both escape rooms and play through them and try to find out which one it is. I'm assuming that it's separated. Ooh, wait. I think I just figured something out. So here, chemical closet and before the door. Those were both things that led to a conversation. And they're both locks. Here, 2 choices, 2 locks. Here, 1 choice, 1 lock. Oh, there's a lot of choices here. Okay, so maybe that doesn't work, but still, I'm thinking if we go to those 2 choices, maybe we can fast forward to where the choice is. So if we go to the chart room. If we go to the chart room, all it does is take us to the beginning of the puzzle. Okay, well, let me just go through this puzzle yet again. And this was actually a cool puzzle. We did this pretty well. So we'll go through this puzzle again, and I will... Actually, there's only 1 key here. There were 2 keys here. Let's go to the pocket watch.
Oh, pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
Hey, man. What are you doing over in this room?
Oh, I just thought I'd come check up on the 2 of you. Is there a problem?
So last time we chose this one. So this time let's choose this one.
Yeah, there is. You checked on us. Now get out of here. We split this stuff up for a reason, all right?
Wow, that was kind of mean.
That's a lie. We didn't have to split up the work. I just want to talk to Clover alone.
Ah, haha.
That's why I sent Ace to the wheelhouse.
I remember now.
There's something I want to ask her, and I don't want anyone to overhear us.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure Clover won't talk if there's anyone else around. That's why when Ace showed up again, I got a little desperate. I had to make him leave.
Oh, I see. Of course. I apologize for the intrusion. Well, best of luck.
What was that about? Why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, no, it's not like that.
What's it like then?
I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. I didn't get a chance to ask you about it until now.
What story?
About the experiment, remember? The one you started to tell me in the operating room?
This is kind of cool how we're connecting these two together. I'm actually kind of happy that we completely failed that choice before.
You said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago.
Although the question is, if you had chosen the other response, but you didn't hear her story beforehand, probably wouldn't be able to hear her story now. So what would happen? Anyway.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm just not in the mood, okay?
All the dots.
You understand, right? I keep thinking about my brother. I can't stop. I mean, who would do something like that to my brother?
All the dots.
I can't forgive them. I'm not gonna let them get away with it. They're gonna pay for it. I promise.
Notice her pronoun here. She keeps saying they, them. Usually that's a word indicating plurality.
So, Junpei, who do you think did it?
Well, if what Seven said was right, then there would have to be at least 2 of them. You need at least 3 people to open the numbered doors. And if you subtract Snake, that means there were at least 2 other people.
You're right. So, what does that mean?
Well, if we just look at the bracelet numbers, we should be able to figure it out. Who could have opened door 3 with Snake?
You know, I find it amazing that we did this in a previous video, and yet this seems to be like a really big plot point. And at the time I just did to try to figure out, who I should be suspicious of. But it looks like I'm not the only one who made that conclusion. Clover has been thinking about this as well and been trying to figure it out.
Well, really, who and who, or who and who?
You mean it could have been 4 people?
Well, technically, it's possible.
I don't know. That doesn't seem very likely.
Yeah, I'm still thinking the same as you, which means our primary suspect should be Santa, right? Because it's probably not 7, based on what we know of 7.
Why?
I'll tell you later. Why don't we just assume it was only 2 other people for now?
Okay, got it. Let's do that then.
Then who do you think it could be?
Which 2 bracelet numbers add to 2 would give a digit root of 3? We already did this. Yeah, we already did this. It was, even though our math was completely wrong, I still can't believe I can't add because I said it was Santa and Lotus, but yeah, it could be Santa and 7. Wait. Yeah. I'm just thinking, what if it was someone else? Like, is there some way someone else could have done it? Well, let's just go with what we know. Because we know, based on the math that we did correctly, might I add, Santa and 7 are definitely the ones that add up.
Would it be Santa and 7? The digital root for Snake, Santa, and 7 is 3. Wait, hold on. Are Santa and 7 the killers?
All the dots.
What's wrong?
Well, I thought about it, and...
That's what I thought. Santa and 7. If it was 2 people, then that's the only combination that works.
Hey, wait a minute there. Don't you think it's a little too early to be jumping to conclusions? Well, all I said is that those 2 would have been able to open door 3 with your brother. There might be other possibilities.
Well, what other possibilities? Are you saying you think that it was 3 or 4 people? I really don't think that's likely.
No, I feel like I forgot something. I really feel like I forgot something that I should know. And I don't understand what it is because we saw Clover go through the door, or we assumed Clover went through the 9 door in the previous ending by taking our bracelets, and the idea is she was going to use our bracelets to open the 9 doors, so you don't need to be alive to use a bracelet. But at the same time, I don't know of any other instance where someone could have, because the only way to remove the bracelets is to either die or yeah, it's to die or escape the ship, right? To die or escape the ship. And there's no one that could have died or escaped the ship, and we could have gotten the bracelet because yeah, I guess that's...
Why not?
Can I borrow your pen and paper?
Yeah, here.
What are you doing?
What's this?
Those are all the combinations of 3.
These are the combinations for 3 or 4 people.
Uh-huh. 2 plus 5, 2 plus 1, plus 3, plus 6. No. These are the combinations for 4 people, though. 4 or 5.
These 8 combinations are the only possible ones.
Oh, I see.
Junpei,
Yeah?
I can trust you, right?
Yes.
Of course. Why would you need to ask that?
Really?
Yeah.
So then I should get rid of B, D, G, and H, right?
I hope so.
Just cross them out. And you should take off yours too. The ones with 4.
So, what does that leave?
A and E.
2, 1, 3, 7, 8. 2, 1, 3, 6. But again, I just find it highly unlikely that would be 4 or 5 people. Because with the 4 people option, you would have June involved and Ace. I don't see that happening. And then in the 4th option, I mean, there's just too many people. That's like a conspiracy. There's no way that many people could keep a secret.
Wait, it can't be A.
Why?
Because June's in that one. There's no way in hell she'd do something like that.
Are you sure?
I bet my life on it.
Okay then. I can cross off A too.
Yeah.
Well, what have we got left?
E.
Do you know what this means?
It had to have only been 2 people. Is that what you're going at?
Everyone besides me, you, and June would be working together.
Or that. I didn't even think about that.
Do you think that's likely?
Wow, that just, well, it's possible, I guess, but I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
If there were 4 people working together, they wouldn't be very cautious. I don't think they'd try that hard to hide what they were doing if they outnumbered us, right?
Well, you do have a point.
And besides, if Ace and Seven are working together, they could have easily gotten rid of me when I went to the shower room with them.
Oh, good point.
But they didn't. They didn't even try anything. If they were killers, why wouldn't they?
Oh, I see. Anyway, I understand now. It seems pretty unlikely that it was as many as 3 or 4 people.
Yeah,
And that means there's a good chance it was Santa and Seven.
that's how it looks.
Okay, I'm following you now, and I'm actually 100% in agreement with you.
But why would they do it?
Their motive.
Have I interrupted something?
We should be able to trust him, right, Clover? All the dots? Even more dots?
What is it?
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
Go ahead.
Okay.
This
What did you want to talk about?
story is full of twists and turns.
There was something I wanted to check.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna check our
What's
pockets,
that?
right?
If you'll excuse me.
Hey, what the hell?
I'm just...
Okay, so yeah, we've seen this all.
Just as I... What you... I meant...
Then...
Oh...
Okay, so we saw all that. Okay, the check mark is complete. And we're getting more and more story about Clover. Clover seems to be... She seems to be very key to this story overall. Let's go ahead and go to the red file.
It looks like there's something on the cover. A-L-L-I-C-E.
All ice.
Alice. Does this mean... What the hell is this?
They are hieroglyphs, a form of writing used in ancient Egypt.
Ancient Egypt?
That's right.
Can you read them?
Of course. I can't. What would make you think I could?
What the hell? Whoa, the whole thing's like that. Huh? What's this? Oh, a key card.
Uranus. That's the Uranus symbol.
Something's written on the bottom. Bottom deck library.
So this all seems to
This
be the
must be the
same
key to-
so
So it
far.
would seem.
Bottom deck library. Oh. 7 said something like...
Wait, this is new.
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic.
Could beneath the navel mean the bottom deck? And the forest of knowledge is the library?
Ooh.
Then could Alice be in a room somewhere beyond the library?
What's wrong? Something on your mind?
Yeah. I just remembered something.
Is that so? What about?
Well, don't laugh, okay?
So we're gonna tell him the story
The
now?
Egyptian priestess, an Ice 9. Interesting.
And the woman who wouldn't melt, who was recovered from the Titanic disaster? They called her All Ice, which eventually turned into Alice. And she was purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordain. According to Seven, this ship is where he hid Alice.
And you think that he hid her in a small room, beyond the library on the bottom deck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is just a theory.
Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS?
Cass? No, I haven't.
Cass.
It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter. Put simply, it is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals. Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expands as it crystallizes, damaging the cell membrane. CAS, however, works differently. The object to be frozen is supercooled using magnetic fields, and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form. It was originally developed for the preservation of food, as an alternative to the normal freezing process. Now, however, there are rumors that it can be used for other things.
What do you mean, other things?
Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel.
Space travel?
Space travel? Are you serious?
Surely you've heard of suspended animation. Cryogenic freezing?
Yeah.
It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space.
Whoa, wait a minute there.
Are you saying that Alice was frozen using that Cass thing?
Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility. If this special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist, and casts were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously.
You think she could be alive?
Well, I can't say for sure, of course. I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right? If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature...
That's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about?
And this is how we get zombies, everyone.
You're quite right. It does sound unbelievable. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor.
You mean the guy dressed like a captain?
Yes. He was dead when we found him. Clearly, he was murdered. But if he was murdered, then by whom? It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible.
So you say the one that keeps killing us is Alice?
In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1. That door that requires the Earth key prevented us from accessing door 1. Who was it that opened that door?
Santa and Lotus.
Right. Clearly, the two of them could not have opened door 1, or any other door for that matter. Who else then could have done so?
Nobody. After Santa and Lotus used the Earth Key, they turned back and met up with me and June. Then we returned to the large hospital room and found Ace, Seven, and Clover. While we'd gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven, and Clover had stayed behind. But it's impossible for those three to open door 1. But what about when June and I took the elevator to door 2? No, still won't work. We were only gone 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters and killed that guy in there and run back that fast.
It would be impossible for any of us to be the murderer. That being the case, who could have killed him?
It's interesting because Clover is absolutely convinced that one of us is Zero, and Ace is like, that's not possible. I mean, the math doesn't add up. I don't know who to believe at this point. I mean, in one ending, we did see like everyone die, right?
Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time?
All the dots.
A person like that would know the ship well. They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors. The numbered door would mean nothing to someone like that. It would be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters.
Then you're saying the killer was Alice?
Well, this is all only one possible theory.
All ice. Alice. Is she really somewhere on the ship? Maybe this card will give me access to the Forest of Knowledge and the big mystery. What could be there beyond the Forest of Knowledge? Anyway, whatever. It's gonna have to wait. I can't do anything right now. I'll come back to this later.
Interesting. Alright, monitor. That's one more lock unlocked.
Huh. Zero, huh?
It's like he's making fun of us.
What do you think?
Nothing.
What about him? Do you think that's really Zero?
There's no way that's him. Didn't I tell you already? Zero is one of us.
Yeah. Well, even if he wasn't one of us, there's no way that man could be Zero.
Huh?
Don't you get it?
No.
The letters that spell Zero on the TV screen, the captain's clothes he's got on, and of course, the bracelet with a 0 on it. It's too obvious.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Look, this is Zero right here. This dead body is Zero. Isn't that kind of fishy?
Yeah, it kind of is.
You're right. Only an idiot wouldn't see through something like that.
No, that's not the point. So I'm not trying to make fun of them for thinking a trick like this would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work. Which makes me wonder.
I think this is a challenge. A challenge from the person who's really behind all of this. He's making fun of us.
Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was Zero, they'd never have put a bracelet on him. Walking around with a 0 bracelet would be like hanging a sign around your neck that said, "I did it!" Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy is supposed to look like everything Zero is supposed to be. Just like we did.
All the dots.
The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was Zero and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why?
Nope.
Why?
Like I said, he's mocking us.
Too bad, suckers. This isn't Zero.
You really think that's what it is?
Where's the real me then? See if you can catch me. It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They'll just sit back and watch people run in circles.
Okay, that's a good point, actually.
That's really twisted. But it almost seems kind of childish.
Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like it's just a game to whoever this person is. That's what seems funny to me. All right, let's get back to the point. Who killed this man?
I don't know.
And what's this guy's deal? Who is he?
How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you.
You have no idea who he is.
Why would I?
We should check and see if he's got anything on him that might tell us who he is.
Give me a hand here, Clover.
Huh?
We gotta flip him over. How else are we gonna search his pockets?
Oh, so the dead body is in the room with the monitors. Ah, we just couldn't check him when we were searching the room. All the dots.
Okay, fine. Guess I'll do it.
Yeah, she doesn't want to touch a dead body, Junpei. Come on.
Here we go. Huh? Hey, it's the...
Monetarily. Let's discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only two ways to do so. One, you escape from this ship. Two, more hotly, which is Zero. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confine of the ship, or the parasite of the wearer's heartbeat has fallen to zero, it will shut down automatically.
Oh god.
This man, he's dead, isn't he?
Oh yeah, clearly.
Huh?
No, it's just, I guess I didn't really think about it until right now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead.
Well, it's pretty obvious that he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure out that he's dead.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious. Well, he looks a lot better than the other bodies we've seen, though. I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look like he was still alive.
All the dots.
I mean, I know it's kind of a messed up thing to say, but he kinda has it better, you know? Dying from a bomb going off inside of you, I mean, that's just... Some of Snake's bones went right through his skin. I think the explosion must have thrown him against a wall or something. There was a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm. And,
What did you just say?
oh man, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really don't know what I was thinking. I mean...
Yeah, dude, I mean, seriously, you're talking about her dead brother like that. That's just cold.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm?
Arm?
Yes, his left arm. You said it, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, I did, but I mean, didn't you see it too?
Of course not. I could barely look at him. There's no way I was gonna see the details.
Yeah, I know, I don't blame you.
Are you sure it was his left arm?
Yes, why?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
And he had a broken bone, right?
What the hell are you getting at here?
Just shut up and answer me!
Yeah, he did.
Huh?
It was pretty bad too. The bone was sticking out of the arm.
All the dots.
Clover?
All the dots.
What's wrong?
All the dots.
Look, I'm sorry if I said anything.
Thank you.
Huh? What are you...
Thank you so much, Junpei.
Wait a second, I just realized something. You remember when we were talking about Snake? We asked, hey Snake, was your brother always born blind? And she said no, he was in a car accident. And because of that, he got messed up really bad. And he had to get a, his arm was like removed and he had to get an artificial arm. So if his left arm had a bone sticking out of it, how could that be when he has an artificial arm? That means that that body wasn't Snake. Ah! Oh, she's gonna be so happy. Oh, she is so happy.
Hey, what's going on with you?
I'm sorry, it's just... I'm so happy.
Oh, then who the heck was that was killed in the shower room? This doesn't make any sense.
Why?
The body in the shower room, it isn't his. It isn't my brother.
Huh?
It's not Snake.
Why on earth would you think that?
Because his left arm is... I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be talking about this. But he's still alive. I'm so happy. I'm so glad.
Huh?
Junpei, you were right.
Huh?
No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love.
Wait a second. Whoa. Stop. Pause. Stop with all this beautiful music, okay? And just... If Snake isn't dead, where is Snake? That doesn't make any sense. We checked everywhere. Where could he have gone? Unless Snake is Zero. Yeah, because we had assumed that Snake was thrown through that door. But if he wasn't thrown through that door, that means Santa and Seven didn't murder Snake. Which means Snake is still alive. Which means Snake is basically faked his death. Sort of. I guess.
If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck.
That's...
I only made it here because you gave me this. I was suspicious of everybody, and I was angry and miserable. But because I had this 4-leaf clover, because of what you said to me...
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Junpei.
Oh, if you really want to thank somebody, you should be thanking Santa.
Santa? Why?
Well, he was the one who gave me that thing. And the words for each leaf, I got that from him too.
Oh.
All the dots. Even more dots. All the dots. Yeah, even more dots.
Huh?
Wait. She's... As soon as we said that, Santa told us that.
Did Santa really tell you those things?
Why? Something else is going on here.
Yeah, he did. Did I, say something wrong?
Oh, no. Not at all. In fact, this could be really good news. I think.
What? Why?
You think?
Santa knew about the words and the clover.
And?
The only people who should know about that are the other subjects.
Wait, so you're saying that Santa was one of the kids from 9 years ago?
Subjects.
The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago, with my brother and me.
What? All the dots, yeah, all the dots.
But he's blind, and I was part of the Nevada test group.
Wait, whoa. There's more than one group?
So neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who were on this boat.
Whoa. Okay, time out.
Yes, I agree. Time out.
Let's just calm down for a second, okay? Start from the top. Don't start with the end and then jump to the middle.
You gotta start with 1 and then move to 2 and 3 and 4 and so on.
Yes, please.
If you don't tell me stuff in the right order, I'm never gonna be able to figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with this experiment. What happened on this boat 9 years ago?
Do you know about morphogenetic fields?
Morphogenetic, that's it. Not transgenetic. Whatever it is I said. Morphogenetic.
Morphogenetic fields.
Yes, I know about those.
All right, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
I think Lotus mentioned something like that.
Telepathy, huh? Well, that's not really it, but I suppose it's similar.
So they were testing telepathy on this ship?
Yeah, I guess so.
So, what exactly did they have you guys do?
The same thing that we're doing now. Exactly the same thing.
What?
The nonary game. 9 people were put on this boat, and 9 others were put in the building in Nevada, and the game started.
But wait, I thought there were 16 kids. That doesn't add up.
Look, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. What do the nonary game and some telepathy experiment have to do with each other? Am I missing something here?
I feel like I'm missing something.
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany. And you know how sometimes when you're up against a really tough problem, and then the answer just kind of pops in your head?
I'm
That's
sorry,
an
I skipped that
epiphany.
by mistake. What she said was the first is epiphany, and the second is danger.
And what you learn from the epiphany can be transmitted with telepathy. When you add danger to that equation, then it gets easier to transmit that information over telepathy.
So you're saying the nonary game was supposed to introduce that element of danger?
Yeah, but it couldn't be just any old danger. It had to be life and death. And someone did actually die. A girl.
Yeah, we knew that.
She was on the boat with my brother. I was in Nevada. I never met her, but I did hear her name. Her name was...
Oh, my apologies. I seem to have disturbed you.
Yeah, you did. Can you please go away? We're having a good conversation here.
Ace!
You two must have strong stomachs. I can't imagine how you could stay in this room for so long. At any rate, Junpei, would you be so kind as to come and help me with something? I'm having a little trouble, and I could really use your assistance. Come on. It'll only take a moment.
I'm pretty sure she was about to say something like Nona, because Nona means 9. It would make sense.
I don't want Ace to hear us. We can talk about this later.
Okay.
Hey, wait!
Junpei, what are you doing in there? Hurry up.
All right, fine. All the dots. Okay. Looky. Lock. Unlocked. Oh. Alright. So it looks like we have completely gone down the white path here. And we have all these unlocks complete. Now it's time to check the final lock. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter. You are brilliant and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.